Hey everybody, what's up? It is
Uh, so
7:59. Good
back
morning.
out.
It's your friend James Shaw. Let's do that again. Good morning, everybody. It is 7:59, and welcome to the Pivot Shift Ahead Mastermind. It's your friend James Shaw. We are live streaming right
You
now on
sure?
Facebook. We are on the YouTube. We are on the podcast. We are everywhere, and you are here too, which I'm very thankful for. Happy Victory Monday. We are back and better than ever, and we're going to talk about
Sorry, I'm running.
well, first we got to talk about staying on mute, but we're going to talk about the idea of does success happen in your comfort zone or outside of it? Does it happen, uh, you know, from doing the things that you love and like and work, or does it happen from something else? That's what we're going to talk about today. It's maybe a different perspective than what you've looked at before, but I really think it'll help you as we start a new week. Before we do that, something good. Miranda, good morning.
Good morning. Yesterday, I celebrated 23 years of sobriety. So I am super excited. And the life that I have been given through choosing, well, having it chosen for me, but uh, give up alcohol and drugs. And the life that I have today is fully, and I'm grateful today.
We are so proud of you. Congratulations on that. There are so many in this community that have stories like that, and we honor and celebrate you this morning. Great news. Kathleen Garden, good morning.
Hello from beautiful Michigan. Thanks, James. I just want to give a shout out because of the Pipeline Challenge tracker and activities last week. We have formed a group of us, an accountability group, and we're checking in with each other every morning, what our intentions are, every evening, what we actually did, and then meeting once a week. So it is a great opportunity, James, and just thank you for pushing us and encouraging us and bringing us all together. So thank you very much. And the calls last week and Inspire, the tracker, it all works if you do it.
It does, and I'm proud of you for implementing it. And I have so much thanks to the community who shares many of the ideas, and then the team I get to work with every day of Nadine and Vicky and Anna and Julia for helping pull this stuff off. I'm proud of what everyone is doing in this space. So keep it up. All right, two more. We're going Angel, then Jessica, and then we got to get after it. Good morning.
Good morning, and thanks for letting me share. A couple of weeks ago, my coach and I decided that where I really excel is face to face, getting belly to belly with people. So I was going to host some events, and we made a very aggressive challenge that for October, November, and December, I was going to do 4 events each month. Two educational events, one social party event, and then like a community give back event. And last week I had my first 2 events. And next week I have my next 2 events to take care of October. And last week it was a social event with Halloween cupcake decorating. And then I did a first time homebuyer seminar, and both were a raving success. I had buyer agreements signed the same night as the first time homebuyer seminar. And next week, we're doing a supply drive for local animal shelters with free costumed pet photos, and then a seller's seminar so I can do my community give back and my last educational. And it's just been so much fun. And I've taken a whole bunch of stuff. I basically like R&D'd everything off of Inspire and out of the Inspire and Pivot groups. So thank you guys so much. I'm putting in the work, and I'm taking the great ideas that you guys have shared, and it's creating momentum because I'm getting the momentum after doing the tasks, and just putting it to use, putting everything you guys are teaching and sharing to use, and getting great benefit out of it. So thank
How it
you,
works.
everyone.
Proud of you. I'm super proud of you for getting it done. There are so many playbooks, so many tools available to everybody. Learn the play, run the play. That's what we say. Jessica, you get the last one, then we got to get after it.
Hey, James. Good morning. Thank you so much for letting me share. I have so much momentum going into a new week. Last Friday, I had a lot of energy from the pipeline challenge, and I was like, you know what? I need to talk to my people. And so created the most hideous, awful hair day video. And I had this big dream to send it through SMS group text on MailChimp. It didn't work. And I was like, you know what? Let me get to it. So hand dial by dial, I started sending out those video text messages, and the response was absolutely insane. a lot of times when we send out bulk stuff, our people ignore us like goose egg. We hear nothing and we think, oh my gosh, they don't like us. They don't love us. So many people responded. They're still responding days later, like getting to me. But when the rates drop, but I had people call me for like immediate transactions. They text me back, people that I hadn't heard from in years. Like, it was absolutely insane. I think they felt obligated to respond to me because they thought I sat down and just text them individually. So I was so excited about that. And it just brought me back to easy really does do it. And just send the video text message in your robe. Like, it doesn't matter. It was the best response I've ever had on anything I've ever done.
We added it to the tracker for that reason, so you can get points for doing it because it does get responses, and it's just a reminder that we just go do. I think success in this business is pretty simple. You just do the simple things where you connect with people and be there when they need you, and you'll be in good shape. Jessica, thank you for reminding us of that. And that leads us right into what I want to talk about today. This is something that's been on my mind for a while, and it kind of, we touched on it Monday. Even Ann Callahan said we could have done Monday's call, could have been a week's worth of calls. Last Monday in Pipeline Power Week, when we looked at where's your business coming from, getting clarity on that, then figuring out which of those things you like and really focusing there. And I think success comes from that. I think success comes from from being inside of your comfort zone, not necessarily outside of it. But when you get clarity about what works and what do you like, and you just double down and do more of that, then I think you're probably good. Now, you do want to grow, and the saying is growth happens outside of your comfort zone, but I think that I don't know, maybe I'm the only one that does this. Is anyone with me on this, that when we think outside of our comfort zone, we think outside of our comfort zone? Like if this is your comfort zone, and I'm just making like a little, think of a little 5-inch box. If this is your comfort zone, and we say outside of our comfort zone, you think you got to be 100 yards over there instead of just maybe a few inches outside of your comfort zone. Like if you're going to have success, figure out what works and go in on that. If you need to grow, maybe it's just to something a little bit outside of your comfort zone. I mean, when you hear growth happens outside of your comfort zone, what's your first reaction? I would be curious to know. Put it in the chat. But I want to walk through a couple of pieces on this. First, about success inside your comfort zone, it's about the right habits. If you have the right habits, those habits create results that's comfortable for you. You get up and you run your routine. You're doing your lead gen. You're doing your follow-up. You're doing the things that drive your business forward. Those habits that are comfortable, that work, create results for you. Repetition builds mastery. As we go and do Monday's exercise from Pipeline Power Week, and you figured out what works and what do you like, and you repeat that, you get mastery at that task. You can improve it and adjust to it, but again, you're not way outside of your comfort zone. And then the confidence you get from those results builds consistency in your business. That consistency gives you confidence, and you keep showing up and doing the things you're supposed to do. And that's what I mean by success happens inside your comfort zone. Now, growth does happen outside of it, but again, I'm saying it might really be more like growth happens adjacent to your comfort zone. Next to, just a little bit outside of, not way outside of. Because growth can feel awkward. It can feel uncomfortable. But it depends on how far out you expand. New challenges do stretch you, but it depends on how far. There's a balance point that I want us to think about. Too much comfort could make you stuck, could ultimately see a lowering of results. But too much of a stretch can lead to panic. I can't do that, freak out. I saw people do this in the Bold Room, by the way. They would just literally have panic attacks about doing stuff. And you cannot grow if you're in panic mode. Think about a stretch zone that is just outside of your comfort zone. It's adjacent, right next to. That sweet spot is the spot between comfort and panic. So figure out what works. What do you like, and do more of that? That's your comfort zone. And then as you're looking to grow, what's adjacent to those things you already like so that you can stretch and grow in a way that doesn't lead to panic? I'm curious about your thoughts about this. I'm sure you've been in panic mode, stretch mode, comfort mode, and all those different things. So I'm curious what's on your mind. Jenny, good to see you. What's on your mind this morning?
Good morning. What a great topic. And as you were going through teaching all that, all the words that were coming to my mind, of course, you shared. And so that's what I was just thinking. James, it's been 10 years since you were my bold coach. Isn't that crazy? Time
That's
flies.
wild. That's crazy.
And I'd say that both of us have had a lot of growth.
Yes.
And during that time, our growth was not always comfortable, but we knew the ultimate vision and plan. That was to build the life that we love, the life by design for our families and for ourselves. And so everything you were just saying is, yes, I am definitely a person who likes my comfort zone. And it's sometimes just a little baby step outside of it to feel that new feeling of, oh, wait, I got this too. And then another little baby step to say, oh, yeah, and this too. And so the keep going and growing and learning and being in community is where you can hear the new ideas or see the other positive results that other people are having. And you get to decide, is that in alignment with who I am, that I choose to go that route and see if that fits in with me. I always just visualize the E to P graphic and that ceiling of achievement that we break through. We don't like always bust through. The graphic shows like break it through, you crushed it. But sometimes this is getting on the other side of that line, and then you have a new ceiling, and then you have a new ceiling. And when you're in community like this and in a profession like ours, there's always more to know and there's always more to do. And your confidence comes by just doing, by getting up and going. So that's all I got for today. Keep
True
going.
story. Jenny, thank you. Glad you're here. Mark Martin, good morning.
Good morning, man. I love this topic. Thank you so much for talking about it. And I was thinking about a book that really helped me years ago. If you guys, those of your readers that want to pick up something, The Power of Full Engagement is a book written years ago. It talks about the really a balance between pushing and pressing beyond your limits and also rest. And they studied athletes who were really successful. They noticed that, for instance, there were some tennis players who had a routine um, in between whatever you call them, sets or matches or in between serves, and there was a little bit of a rest point right in between those things. And there's really needs to be like an expansion of your limits and then a rest. And when you're growing, sometimes we just get into this all out, man, I've got to do a bold 100 every week, or I've got to do just go crazy. And we end up thinking, man, I can't do this job because we're trying to go so far outside of our limits that we don't know how to function there. Yeah, just give yourself some stretch, but recover from them. Live inside of that familiarity because our minds crave that familiarity. We want to be familiar and be confident in what we can do. So live in that familiar zone, but then also just press a little bit beyond that, a little bit at a time. Maybe consider, man, I'm going to live 80% inside of what I'm comfortable with, and just that 20%, I'm gonna push. I'm gonna maybe call a few expireds, or I'm gonna do a few more phone calls. But man, be confident, live where you're confident, and then grow a little bit outside of that.
That's great. Mark, that book, by the way, is on sale on Amazon right now for like $10. So I'll put a link in the chat if anybody wants it. But I love the idea of know what works, stay inside of that, be willing to stretch. But again, it doesn't have to be a bold 100 every week. It can just be something that's a little bit further out. And that's like Jenny talked about too. We're always pursuing growth in some way, but it doesn't have to be this massive thing. And yet over time, it can become massive. Mark, thank you. Donna Gilbert, good morning.
Good morning. Yeah, I saw this over the weekend and I loved it. I did respond right
I
away.
saw you had a really intelligent response too.
Well, because it's kind of exactly what Jenny said. You kind of stay inside in your comfort zone, and you have great success there. Yes, success does live within your comfort zone. It's growth that's outside, and it can be just outside. When Jenny said, and then this too, and then this too, someone else said, baby steps. Yeah, one little baby step at a time, over time, adds up to lots of baby steps, and all of a sudden you're way outside of your comfort zone. Doesn't happen overnight. It happens one baby step at a time, and then you turn around and you're like, wow, I did that? What else can I do? And then your comfort zone, it just becomes bigger. Everything is allowed to be in there. You have other people, you have coaches that see the growth in you and encourage you a little bit more. And sometimes it's not like go do it. It's like, well, what about this? They just present the option. And the fact that you've taken lots of baby steps, you're like, yeah, I can do that. And you go for it.
Ah, that's so good. Hey, I'm going to jump up real quick. Crystal in Tampa, good morning.
Good morning, James, and good morning to everybody else. One of the things that's helpful for me is documenting when stepping slightly outside of my comfort zone doesn't result in disaster. So um, it's good to go back and reflect on, okay, this happened to me, or not this happened to me, but I did this. It felt uncomfortable, but nothing catastrophic happened. And when you document it that way, it's a way to go back and kind of calm your mind when you're about to step outside of your comfort zone. So that helps me.
That's a good reminder. I like it a lot. Marilyn Burke, good morning.
Good morning. James, I think it's kind of an internal, you're comfortable, then you start getting in your mind uncomfortable. And that's the precursor to change or growth. You start to get dissatisfied with performance, then you have to create and do. So it's mindset, it's in your head first, then it's in the actions. So I think it's internal, then external, then you do. You think, then you do, or you get dissatisfied, then you do. That's my take on, but I love this topic.
Thank you, Marilyn. I love it. Wendy, you're next. Good morning. Wendy Garcia. All right. Rico, good morning.
Good morning, Money Making Monday. We're gonna have a big week. A couple things on this. So, um, I kind of look at it like, when you first start out go to the gym and you start lifting weights. If you go up by 5 pounds a week or a day, by the time you get done and you look back, I mean, you're lifting way more than probably what you started off in the beginning. The E to P, I actually go to back to that all the time. The way that I look at that is we can only have so much on our own that we can do with our own natural abilities. But that's where, I talk about coaches all the time. I'm big on that. And that's where coaches and other people will come in and they can view and see what position you're in and what you can do better and how you can adjust. And as long as you're doing that and you sitting back and measuring it, I mean, I think that's the biggest thing. My goal is 100 a year. Uh, when I was doing that, it was becoming a little bit overwhelming for me because I felt like I was stretching myself too high. Then I started breaking down by the week, and now I just do it by the day. If I can get one appointment a day, every single day, I'll get to where I need to be. And then at the end of the week, which is usually for me, it's Sundays because I recap everything on Sundays and set myself up for the new week. When I look back at the week, I'm like, oh man, did 5 this week. I'm good with those results. So I measure it by the day now, not by the month or by the year.
Well, that's a process focus, not an outcome focus. You're going to go do these things on Monday, these things on Tuesday, and wake up and run your plays, and then the result comes over time. Really, really good. Dean Moss, hello.
Good morning. Couldn't find that mute button. Thanks so much for the opportunity, James. I think what you need to do is you have to focus your day-to-day business in your comfort zone, because you have to repeat the process every single day. Make the calls, follow up, call leads, all the things you need to do every day. So that's your comfort zone, right? And then you have to venture out ever so slightly outside of your comfort zone. Except for some people here, it's expireds and cancels and FSBOs and all that kind of thing. That's close to your comfort zone. Then get a little further afield. Maybe it's certain client events. Maybe it's other kinds of things to engage with people. You have to reach out. Now, as you reach out of that comfort zone, the important thing to understand is the concept of community, because there are dozens and dozens and dozens of people here that have extended beyond their comfort zone and had success with it. So reach out to them, form a community if you're trying to break that comfort zone, and do it consistently. So thanks for letting me share.
Yeah, Dean, you nailed it. Success inside the comfort zone. Growth happens outside of it, but it doesn't need to be way outside. It can be pretty close to something that's easy for you to move into. And best results come from having this balance between the two things. So here's my challenge for everybody this week is first, figure out something in your comfort zone that you can double down on. Now, this goes back to what we talked about on Monday in Pipeline Power Week. What strategy is working that you already like, that you're very comfortable with, that you can go down and double down on, and do that. Go do it. And then next, try something that would be in that stretch zone that's just adjacent to your comfort zone, but yet a little bit uncomfortable. Just a little bit uncomfortable, and give that a shot this week and see how it goes. I'm looking forward to hearing your thoughts around it. All right, that's it. We're out of time. We got to kick it. So I'm sorry to the hands I didn't get to today. Reminder for those of you going to Elevate in London 6 months from today, we have our Halfway to Elevate call today, a special 90-minute workshop with Phil M. Jones at 1 o'clock Eastern time. So we've sent you the link a handful of times. I'll email it out again this morning. It's in the Elevate Facebook group. We'll see you at that. Inspire members, we're back tomorrow. Everybody else, we're back tomorrow. You got your inspiration. Go put in the perspiration. Have a great week. Bye, everybody.
Bye. Have a great week.
Hi, thank you, James.